at this time, if you can, man, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, how old you are, where you're from, and what you do.
So my name is Brandon Harrison. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm 42 years old. I have a beautiful wife, 2 young children, a 7-year-old daughter, and a 4-year-old son. And I work for a large trucking company that's headquartered here in Salt Lake City, CR England, and I'm an executive here. I'm the president of our North American and Mexico divisions.
And can you kind of just do a flashback and just share, do you know how many weeks back it was when you first joined in on the initial accelerated method program? Do you know how many weeks back that was?
It was about nine or 10 weeks ago.
Okay, so not 9 or 10 weeks ago. And can you just kind of share, why is it that you joined? What was life like back for you then? What problems were you facing? And just how did you feel overall?
So a lot of my challenges, similar to many, that are in positions like ours, where you're a family man and have an extremely demanding job. And, I was working, it felt like, around the clock, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, traveling just continually and not feeling great. I went from, my college years to being in the best shape of my life to progressing in my professional career and devoting all of my time, most of my time anyway, to my professional career, and anything else I had left, towards my family. Had my 2 kids come along. That's when, things got even more demanding with regards to time constraints. So in general, not spending time on me, focusing on me and my health. Things were challenging. Career-wise going well, but health-wise not too great. Digressing and putting on weight, not eating healthy, not exercising because I felt like I never had enough time, not sleeping enough. And one of my best buds enrolled in your program, and I ran into him on a family vacation. We got together this last fall, and he was a few weeks into the program and looked great, telling me how great he felt. And I could just see the transformation in him, and listening to him talk about the program was extremely compelling for me, just to actually see the results with my own eyes, just in a matter of the few weeks that he was in the program at the time. So he told me about it. I had a chance to do some research, and next thing I knew, I was getting a call from the man, the myth, Logan Henry, some guy in South Carolina that was full of energy and gumption and wanting to make positive change in people's lives. And, that's where we're at today.
Yeah, and you've come a long way, and we're going to talk about that change that you've made for yourself, and just kind of summarizing what you shared. If we go back to before you had reached out, before you saw that good friend that ended up kind of giving that compelling story that says, wait a minute, what's this all about? You were saying kind of with all the responsibilities from work, family commitments, things just kind of got into a sense to where maybe you unintentionally had found that your health was kind of pushed to the back end, would you say?
Absolutely.
And when that was happening, how did you feel overall, and what problems were you facing just on the day-to-day being in the state that you were in?
Yeah, so I was, feeling tired all the time. I mean, and that was the biggest struggle for me is at work. Yeah, I'm charged up and motivated, and but I only had so many hours to go. So for me, my routine was typically early evening. I would just crash, and I'd come home and have 2 young kids that are full of energy, and I couldn't keep up with them. I'd want to come home, I'd want to sit on the couch, I'd want to have a cocktail, and just frankly didn't have the energy to devote to playing and being active with my kids, and that couldn't prolong. Mentally, it was taking its toll on me. But I was of the mindset that, okay, I'll start next week, or I'll start next month, or things are going to calm down in the office. It's going to be less stressful. So that's when I'll get my feet underneath me and get back into a routine. And that went on too long, where I just kicked the can down the road and didn't do it. Ended up going in, getting a physical, having to be put on cholesterol meds. It all just kind of came to a boiling point. And then again, seeing my good friend in North Carolina and how well it was working for him. That was just kind of what put me over the top, and taking into consideration my family needs and needing to be around for a long time to take care of my little ones and my wife. So yeah, it was time to make the decision, and it was really perfect timing.
Yeah. So it all accumulated to hitting that boiling point to where it was like, hey, almost enough is enough here. Something's got to give. And how bad would you say it did get for you? Like, and specifically, what toll was it taking on your life personally and professionally to be in that state that you were in?
Yeah, I mean, just being tired all the time, and professionally, I've always been a fairly confident individual, not overly confident, but confident. And appearances, when you don't like what you see in the mirror, that takes its toll on your confidence. So there's no doubt in my mind that, yeah, it was impacting my performance in the office as well, not to mention my personal life. But yeah, I mean, going to a pool and not being comfortable with taking your shirt off and wearing a swim shirt, and hell, the trip that I took to see my buddy in North Carolina, I was like a fraction of an inch or maybe an inch left on the seat belt, where I was thinking, oh man, at some point I may need a seatbelt extender, and that kind of hit home. I couldn't let that happen. So, I mean, it was impacting my personal life in so many ways, but mostly just psychologically, it just takes its toll. And not sleeping well, waking up in the morning, feeling groggy, just not good.
Yeah, so it was kind of piling up on a lot of different things, and you were starting to take note, whether when it was traveling to go see your buddy in North Carolina, just all of it, you had it in the back of your head that something had to change, but hey, I'm going to get to it next Monday, next week, next month. All that combined just was like, okay, there's no more waiting here because of the toll that was taken.
Yep, exactly.
And when you joined about 9 weeks, almost 10 weeks back or so within the program, what has life been like for you just over these past couple months?
It's been a huge change. So life, in light of all the challenges we're facing, COVID related, and stress as a result of those conditions, you could say, stress levels should be up, especially in the transportation world. It's been a challenge, but what's been crazy is for me, over the course of the last couple of months since I got into the program, I've learned how to manage that stress. And even though, just business, professionally, things are crazier than they've ever been, I don't feel like I'm as stressed as I was under less stressful circumstances, professionally. So life has been great. I feel better. I have more energy. I have energy until night, until after the kids go to bed. I feel like I never run out of energy, and I'm just getting started. I know that's going to get even better, right? So it truly has been life-changing and a transformation. My family and loved ones comment all the time as well that I'm more positive, that they see kind of that pep in my step, so to speak. And professionally, yeah, I feel like my mental clarity is at an all-time high. I feel great in the way that I'm managing our business, in the way that I'm leading my team here at work. So it's been an amazing change for me.
I would say so. I mean, it sounds like it. And what I want to know is, as all those changes started to happen, what specific results have you gotten from being within the program at this point and following the strategic plan that's been laid out for you?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier, it's just I feel like a different person. Physically, I've lost about 34 pounds. I think I'm down 34 pounds, just a little bit under 60 days. So that feels great. I've lost crazy inches, in my chest, my gut, my waist, my neck. I'm fitting into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for years. In fact, most of my clothes don't fit me, period. Case in point, I mean, this thing's kind of hanging off me, so I got to go do some shopping here. But and then sleep, man, for me, that was a game changer. You preached it from day one. how important sleep is and how people take it for granted. And that has made such a big difference, which has led to some of the great results that the other results that I've seen as a result of putting in the work for the last 60 days.
I was going to say, once you created all of those remarkable results for yourself, what else changed for you? Like, what else was different?
I'm spending a lot more time with my family. So at first I thought, okay, I'm committing to this program. And I was thinking backwards. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be spending all this time, doing the weekly game film and my workouts, and that's going to detract from time with my wife and kids. And it's been the exact opposite. What I've seen is I've had so much more energy, so throughout the day, during the weekday and weekends, and I'm spending more quality time playing with the kids, inside and outside, doing activities together, where before I just, I probably wouldn't have the energy, and the default would be kind of, okay, hey, let's go watch a movie, or let's go sit on the couch and kind of veg out. And I knew it. That's not quality time with my kids. So I feel like, as a result, I've become a much, much better family man. And what's just as rewarding for me, probably even more so, than my results, is to see how my family is adjusting, in support of this change, and, getting on board with the nutrition plan. And they love it. And I can see the change in them as well. My kids are eating healthy. That is so rewarding to know that, man, my kids are eating healthy, and they're at such a young age. And, the default isn't chicken nuggets or macaroni and cheese for every meal. That's been incredibly rewarding.
That is awesome, man. So your willingness to kind of say, hey, I'm going to take care of this, you've noticed that now the trickle effect, that the family's starting to kind of, they're on board. They're watching, and now as your kids, you said that they're starting to kind of mirror and do what you do, and everybody's on board with it.
Yeah. And they, going for walks, just me being more active, and is forcing them to be more active, and we're doing it together, which is just has been phenomenal. Like I say, it's made me a better family man.
I love to hear that, man. And how has this been different from anything you've ever experienced before?
So just the structure and the educational piece for me has been way different than anything I've done before. So I've been on diets. I've been I've had regimented workout routines, and been in strength training programs. The biggest change or difference, I should say, with Lost Fit and some of the other programs, just the educational beyond just the fitness portion. So again, how to sleep, how to take care of your mind, and how important that is. First, taking care of your mind, so so you can get the results from your body, that you want to see in your body. That's the biggest difference, and such a huge difference. Again, the educational aspect of learning what to eat, how to eat, why you're doing it, has been the biggest difference. And man, they're nuggets. Like every day I learn something new that I know I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life, and make that part of my lifestyle.
Even with all these great things that have happened, and that all these results that you've created for yourself during this time, what I want to know is, what was your biggest worry or concern about joining in this initial program? My
biggest worry was, is this something that I'm going to enjoy and stick with? And am I going to have the time to do it? So I think initially it was time, worrying about, okay, being tired and groggy while I'm in the office, and impacting my performance here. But it's crazy. Like I mentioned earlier, that was a worry that was completely backwards. I wake up earlier, and I have more energy, a lot more energy throughout the day, and I'm more committed to my work than ever before. All the while, I'm spending, like I mentioned earlier, I'm spending more quality time with my family. So it's just, the concern of the time issue was complete nonsense. Again, I'll go back and answer your question. The best part about this program in my opinion, it teaches you how to do it and not be, a drastic time suck. I feel like I haven't sacrificed anything.
Love that, man. And outside of concern, what were you skeptical about? Because even though you had a buddy who's done an amazing job as well, if he ever looks back at this, even though you knew him, you saw his results actually in front of your eyes, you saw the feeling from him and what was going on. Probably he shared some things. But even with that, what were you really skeptical about when you made the decision to start?
Sounds too good to be true. I mean, you do some research and you listen to people talk and hey, people, you never know exactly what they're feeling, right? And human nature is, people embellish and I'm not saying anybody embellish, but you're always saying, okay, is it really as good as what I'm seeing online and all these testimonials and then thinking, okay, you're only putting in that much time a day. This is too good to be true. And to get results like what's being posted, I don't know, maybe. So that was, I wouldn't say I was really skeptical, but there may have been a question mark or two. But yeah, man, it's all legit. It's all true. Yeah. I mean, it all makes sense, and you don't take testimonials with a grain of salt. You have to do it and feel it for yourself to really understand the impact. The program speaks for itself, and you get 1,000 testimonials, but until you do it yourself and really see what types of results it can generate, you never know.
I hear you loud and clear. I mean, I understand completely what that's like, whether it's something new or especially online. You're kind of like, wait, what in the world? Even if a buddy, attests to it, it can still kind of be like, like you said, is this too good to be true? And what I want to know from you is, what did, whether it was me or we, just the program in general, do at its core to alleviate any skepticism that you had completely?
Oh, for me, it was really day one. It was listening to you and to the other guys in the program. When you start hearing and seeing their results, for me at that point, I'm like, oh yeah, this is real. And then listening to you and just, all the tips and advice and how well versed and educated you are. It didn't take long after, a conversation with you to know that, this program was the real deal. And how to coach and mentor and get people to see results.
As I said to your buddy, and as I say to everyone, the coaching and mentoring is only as good as the person that shows up ready to receive it. And you've been ready to receive it the entire time, and not only receive it, but actually apply what's been given. So hats off to you, man. And all these skepticisms and concerns that you've had, what would you say to anyone who may not have a buddy who's enrolled in the program, right? They have even more question marks, raising flags, going, yeah, this sounds good, all this stuff online,
yeah.
And they are considering right now either filling out the form that you did, they're considering dropping an email, a message, reaching out for support, but they're really on the fence. They've got so many question marks. What would you say to anyone who's watching right now who's considering reaching out support or just joining in general?
I'd tell them that this program is probably unlike anything they've seen or heard of in the past, because it's focused on a lifestyle change. It's not focused on, you can go and jump into a program and lose 20 pounds in 45 days or 2 months or whatever it is. It's not a fad type program. And believe the testimonials that you see. Believe this testimonial. You'll see results. And you always want to do your research. And I want to go back and say, I wouldn't say I was really skeptical, because there was the first time I talked to you, I felt like our conversation, there was immediate credibility the first time I talked to you. And even before I talked to you, there was immediate credibility, because a guy that I know, love, and trust is telling me, hey, this is the real deal. So for me, it was like, okay, he says it's the real deal. It's the real deal, but I want to see if it's, he was fairly new into it. he had only been into it for, for a few weeks. So, okay, how real of a deal is it? Is it sustainable? So that's kind of where my mind was at. Like I say, you could watch 1,000 testimonials and someone still may have question marks, but you got to do it. You just got to jump in, and you're going to see the results. To your point, you say it up front. You meet me halfway. You'll show us the how, and hand that to us on a silver platter. As long as we're willing to to do what you say and recommend, it's going to change your life.